Welcome back to another show. I'm here with my friend James, and James once was a follower of Sadhguru. Now he gave him up completely. Doesn't watch him anymore. And neither do I, ironically or sadly enough. I don't know, something, as James was mentioning this before the camera started, something after Sadhguru's illness, it kind of just made me step back away from him. It's hard for me to watch his videos now. I don't know what it is. Maybe this will return, maybe he'll get healthier, and this energy and desire for me to study him will return, but I just can't do it. It's not within my own body. So we recorded a very popular video talking about Sadhguru, specifically you, James, mentioning that you first found him and you stopped liking him. So we're gonna go deeper and tell us more. Why this decision to not watch Sadhguru's videos anymore?
The main reason is because life constantly changes. That is the main reason for things is that is what I found is like everything stays the same, but it also changes, which is really kind of like the paradox of life is like, yeah, like you'll see things on your day to day. It's like, oh my God, that reminds me of something from 20, 30 years ago. And then at another time, it's like everybody's sitting around staring at their cell phones. You know what I mean? It's like we're living in a paradoxical world at this point. We're
Yeah,
living in like the Twilight Zone. Or like I was watching, the YouTuber Twisted Reality.
yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, yeah. It's a good one. You should watch the one that he did either like today or 2 days ago with that other guy that started video recording this other guy up in the Himalayas or like the foothills of the Himalayas. Watch that one. I think his name's Shunya. I can't remember what the dude's name is, but check the guy with Twisted Reality within the last 2 days. Um, so that's really the main reason why I kind of don't. That's why I'm watching you. That's why I'm spending my time watching you instead of Sadhguru is because maybe he's like not putting out as much content, and all the people that are running his organization are like I told you before, he's really not in control of that thing anymore. I don't think he has complete control of it, and it's just like a bunch of like like Silicon Valley computer people just doing all kinds of stuff, and I don't know exactly what's going on with that organization. Like I said, I would have given my whole entire life for it at one point in time. And then when you watch this interview of the Twisted Reality guy with this other guy, that guy was into Isha. Yeah, look it up real quick for me. Okay, or is that what you're doing?
No, no, I'm
Oh,
not right now. I
my,
can't look it up.
my bad. Anyway, the guy that he interviews was a Isha person, okay? And he went to Isha, and then he was going to do a program there, and then it was going to be like the first program after COVID, and then whatever happened, he went up to the Himalayas and found this other yogi guy. So anyway, everything is happening for a reason here, Shiva. Everything. So I wouldn't like delve too deep into it, and like I know how much he's helped you and how much he's influenced you because it did the same thing with me. Like I can't even explain to you how good I felt and how much of an inspiration it was finding him, and but it was a bit of a letdown at the same time with what happened. So again, we're living in some kind of like paradoxical realm where it's like it's this and it's that at the same time.
Yeah. I'd want to say that I'm more so focused on Sadhguru than I am in the Isha Foundation. I'm not a fan of the Isha Foundation, but I am a big fan, a huge fan of Sadhguru. And also, a lot of people found that Sadhguru's message during the whole situation that was happening on Earth to be a little bit off putting. He was promoting certain things, so that kind of put people off. And I know you're an example of that. Can you share a little bit about that in this very sensitive topic?
I would love to. I feel like I'm one of the only people talking about this. I've definitely thought about this. Right after that situation happened, I'm like, okay, let's see what Fat Guru's got to say about this. Because it's that guru, and he's like, going on all these podcasts, and he's on Joe Rogan, he's on Ralph Smart, and he's on every other one in between. He's all over India TV. But have you ever once heard him talk about certain things during that time? Because I haven't. The only thing he ever said was, I'm going to be the last one to take it. And then that's all I ever heard. And I haven't heard anything since. And then, years later, he's in the hospital with some kind of brain injury. So these things happen. I mean, we're living in a super weird meat suit that anything can happen. Like you said, you walk on the sidewalk and you can get splattered like that. So, I mean, seriously, like after the hurricane here, there's like dump trucks galore out here. I mean, just picking up the pieces around here, and it's like if that one tire clips me, I'm done. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's the realm we're living in. So it's like it could happen to anybody at any point in time. Anyway, I'm still to this day like I wonder what happened with Sadhguru. Did he ever take even one of those? Did he
Mm.
ever get tested for it? Did he get like, some of these people got 5 of them. Around here where I'm at in Florida, they're like, "Oh, we'll give you a gift certificate. We'll give you $20. We'll give you this. We'll give you that." And it's like, even still to this day, you'll see out on the signs at like Walgreens and stuff. Um, you could get this and you can get that, and they're free. And it's like,
Wow.
anyway, like I said, you kind of have to be chosen to kind of see what's going on. So yeah,
So I want to share a little bit of personal history with the Isha Foundation. I attempted to visit there once, and I got denied quite in spectacular fashion, I might add. And some people had the same experience. So, have you tried volunteering with Isha? Have you tried going to their centers? Has anything happened like that? What is your experience with that foundation?
great question. Great question. So right after I found them in 2018, um, let's see here. Like I would like I'm going this is going back some years now, so I'm trying to pull up the files from back then from 2018 when they first changed my life for the better. Um See, the thing with me is that I'm not in the same boat as you. It seems like you're more affluent than I am. You know what I mean? Like you're probably from a more stable environment than I am, meaning that you have more funding than I do. So when I found him, I was staying here in Florida with my mom and I think it was her boyfriend at the time. And like I've had a really rough life. So like I was like on and off, living here, living there. I think I might have had like a cot set up in one of the spare rooms, like just a fold out cot, living on that or sleeping on that. And I was basically made to be homeless shortly after that. So I was dealing with Sadhguru when I first found out, and I was like in a homeless shelter. So I was like just trying to survive at that point. But I would go to libraries and look at his videos on the phone, and kind of like hoping maybe I could just go stay with them. You know what I mean? Hoping I could be a part of their thing, and that would give me an out. And I would look at like openings at the Tennessee ashram and try and get in there and stuff. But it seems like what their thing has turned into is like kind of like for people who have a lot of money that like they're going to rent. They're basically going to turn it into like a city or for people who like have a lot of money type stuff. And that's not really like grassroots type stuff of like trying to save the planet. You know what I mean? If you're going to be from the grassroots trying to save the planet, which is what needs to happen, like people actually out there planting trees. Okay, planting trees, not just watch videos. Oh, send me $50, type stuff. Just you sit there and watch videos and send me $50 here and there, type stuff. No, that's not how you save the world. How you save the world is it's kind of like what you were saying with having a wife. Going to the boss. That's her boss type stuff. This is the same thing. You know, you want to be living it. You don't want to just be going working for Tim Hortons and then sending some $50 to save the world. No, your whole life has to be saving the world. So um, if we're going to save the world, we have to actually save the world. We can't work for Tim Hortons. Okay, sorry. Anyway, Tim Hortons is like a grocery store in Canada, right?
Tim Hortons is like Dunkin' Donuts or coffee shop, not a grocery shop.
Oh, okay, okay. Because I heard something about their coffee. I'm like thinking it's some like big grocery store. Anyway, what I'm saying is, if we're to save the world, we can't just keep doing what we're doing. Okay, we have to actually save the world. We have to actually plant trees. Okay, and so that's not happening. It's just sit back, send them money so they can build some like big addy yogis all over the place. So, uh, anyway, it's hard for me to go back to 2018 because it was a really chaotic time for me. Like I was surviving at that point in time. Anyway, I eventually made it to San Francisco. I eventually made it to live in an SRO, which means single room occupancy there, like a little box in the city in Union Square, Union Station, Union Square. It's like a kind of a decent area. Um, and I was able to, from that one dude, Visak Sabu. Remember Visak Sabu? He's a YouTuber, Isha YouTuber. Anyway, through watching him, he was dealing with the organization. He was like, I've got 10 free things to do inner engineering for free. So that was the second time I did it. The first time I did it, I was homeless, so I didn't have to pay for it. Like I sent them a message or something. I saw on their website, like, if you have a lower income, then you could do it for free or something like that. So I did it for free online, life changing, but I'd never tried to go to either the Tennessee one or the India ashram. I never tried to get in there. I don't know, man. It's hard to explain. It's just hard to explain. But what happens is at over time and growing and learning and getting older and getting more wise, you start to see things more clearly. That's all I could say.
Hmm.
That's all I could really say.
So, what do you think Sadhguru's agenda is behind all this? You think he's scheming, or he genuinely has good interests for people, or a mix of both?
Well, there was this one YouTuber I was talking to. He used to have a YouTube account. His account was called Monks and Mountains. And he was the Indian monk living right outside of Chennai, India. And he seemed to not really like Isha and Sadhguru that much. Um, he went there, you know what I mean? He was like, everything's all about money there. And I'm like, yeah, well, I mean, that's the world we live in. How can you have anything without money? You know what I mean? You can't run anything without money. You just can't. That's what I want to bring all this back to is people are expect like Carlos is saying, oh, well, you're all asking for money and they're asking for money. How are you gonna live without money? That's the world we live in. We live in a world where if you don't have money, you die. Okay? So all these people, oh, you should be like Jesus and da 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 da. And it's like, no, so anyway, I've been around the block, I've been around the corner. When I was in Denver, Colorado, there was a dude living at Union Station. And I had some food one time. I'm like, dude, do you need some food? And he's like, no, I want either cigarettes or something like that. Like he just wanted to smoke. He would be digging through the trash for his food and his drink, and he wanted cigarettes. Like he didn't even want the food that I had. So that's how you're going to be living if you don't make money. Okay. I guarantee you, nobody's going to help you. Nobody is going to help you. You're going to be pulling food out of a trash can. So you have to make money. So anyway, I mean, Sadhguru's got to make money. But back to the monks and mountains guy, I forget what he was like, Baba Sankarit or something. He had all different kinds of names. Um, he was saying, because I'm taking this from an Indian monk's perspective, same age as me, I'm 41. He was saying that possibly Sadhguru was being controlled by Saudi Arabian influence money. Now, I said that's crazy. I said I don't believe that. I still don't believe that. Um, to be honest with you, Shiva, I don't know exactly what's going on with him. I've never met Sadhguru. I all I know is that it helps people. It helps people get through this crazy world. Like I said before, we're living in a crazy, crazy world where you have to have a piece of paper to live. Okay, you have to have digits on a piece of plastic to live. So when people sit there and say, "Oh, you're bad because you're making money," like if you guys knew anything about money, you would, like I said, go look at the Greek speak if you want to know where money comes from. Like our parents didn't teach us this when we were growing up, did they? Like I asked my dad, like, where does money come from? He said, oh, it comes from the Great Seal. Like they don't know anything. You guys, nobody knows anything. Okay, we don't know what's going on with Isha. We don't know what's going on with Sadhguru. We don't know where money comes from, although I do. And nobody wants to know. So they're too busy. You know what I mean? They don't have time for this kind of stuff.
I'm thinking about the Isha Foundation and the Tennessee ashram. And yeah, it seems Sadhguru has plans for that place to build it as a yogic city, and maybe it is for rich people. Sadhguru kind of maybe intentionally is making this way because he's planning for the future, and people need to have the resources in order to go there. So yeah, Sadhguru is a sensible guy, I guess, and also irritates a lot of people. Uh, Another controversial thing that Sadhguru said is that one of the most controversial videos on his channel was him talking about milk and drinking milk. And lots of people have replied to that video, and Sadhguru said, well, what is it better to take the animals into the slaughterhouse? No, we milk them, we put them to use. So the Isha Foundation took that down, took that video down. So that's two out of three controversial things that I've heard Sadhguru talk about. He talked about the certain things that are happening in the body that you take because of certain craziness that was happening a while ago, and the milk drinking, that video. And the third one was him at the World Forum, the World Forum where the business leaders gather, and he said, "Hey, I don't really mind if people become not as many on Earth, because there's too many people." So lots of people are found that very, very controversial. And Sadhguru said it in a very kind of, yeah, just what needs to happen. So I am very tempted towards going and investigating Sadhguru's logic and insight because he's a very wise man, and maybe I'm wrong. Most likely, probably I'm wrong. Sadhguru has paid attention, investigated life much deeper than I have. At the same time, some things that are presented in this world are too overwhelming. The evidence is too overwhelming. So this is the third point, the kind of taking people out, so to speak, making them have a very long vacation or maybe a permanent vacation. So what do you have to say about that? That's this last part or these last two parts.
I have a lot to say about that. Um, you said that there was two things, like so the milk, the 2020 episode, and then what else was it?
And the business leader forum that happens every year in Switzerland, and
Oh,
Sadhguru.
okay, okay, okay. Yeah, the milk thing, that's small potatoes. People drink milk, you know what I mean? People eat cheese. I know that you're like ultra vegan and hyper vegan and all this stuff. Um, I mean, even like you kind of like helped me. I haven't eaten meat since April of this year. So you were a percentage in my, like I said, you have powers and you did help me a bit. I mean, there's other people too that kind of got me into that, but I'm still drinking milk, still eating cheese. I know, naughty, 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 but it's for people like me who my mom eats meat 3 times a day, it's going to take us a little bit more than the average bear to kick these habits. But I'm on my way. Like I actually follow some people who are breatharians. So I mean, I know what the spectrum can be.
Hmm.
So there's people who live off of raw stuff, raw vegans, people who just live off of juice, and some people who are breatharians. So anyway, that to me, the milk thing is kind of like small potatoes. That's just whatever. Um, the other 2020 episode, it's a contradiction. He's living a contradiction, and this whole world is one big contradiction. So I mean, what are you going to do about that? You know what I mean? That's the world we live in. He doesn't have ultra control over everything, although there is this other guy down in Costa Rica that I should show you that like he never did any of that and he's cool. Like he's got an ashram down there. The white guy, he's got like almost 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. I can't, it's called Sat Yoga. You ever seen Sat Yoga? Yeah. Yeah, you should check him out. So, I mean, that's the paradoxical world that we're living in. The government gives Sadhguru orders, and he has to follow the orders, or if he doesn't, then his business goes down. So he made that decision. That was his decision. And I think I told you before, my dad has the same birthday as Sadhguru, which is September 3rd. Only Sadhguru is 1 year younger. So he was born in 57. My dad was born in 56. So I know a little bit about that personality. And so that's that. Now, the World Economic Forum and Klaus Schwab and all these guys, there's another YouTuber I watched that he's basically the cop 24 and that they're going to Brazil and just talking about this in Saudi Arabia and stuff. And it's just like nothing is going to change until we change. So if we keep getting in our cars, driving around, thinking that everything's going to be cool, then I guess I guess we get what we get. But what we really need to do is bring it back. Matter of fact, everybody who's born into this world should have at least an acre of land to build their house and have a garden on. And if we're not doing that, then, like I said, I heard Carlos say in the Neuralink video, like, if he gets this brain thing done, the world turns completely evil. Carlos, the world is already completely evil. Just go ahead and get it. Anyway, yeah. So
Hmm. Yeah. So do you think that Sadhguru is part of this agenda of making people go off, so to speak?
yeah, yeah. But the problem is that if I tell you the truth, I'm going to be the bad guy. So I want you to go watch Greek speak and let the Greek tell you and let him be the bad guy.
Okay. Well,
Most people are not going to be able to wrap their head around what is going on this planet. I mean, dude, you're 29. I didn't have this when I was 29. Now I'm 41. I'm just now getting this. So most people on the planet are not going to get this. That's why I said in our previous video, you have to be chosen for this. Most people that have lived through what I've lived, like I slept on the street on Market Street in San Francisco. Okay, most people don't survive these type of things. So the level of knowledge and the level of clarity of vision that I have is like it's in the 1 percentile. So I mean, like I said, there's only so much stuff I can say, and I don't want to be. Actually, here's what I'll say. I don't care if you guys hate me. I don't care because I don't want to be around human beings. I just don't. There's no reason to be around them. Once you find out what's going on this planet, you're going to want to get away from them. So I'm coming at it from the 1 percentile view. Those are the people who are running things here. That's where I'm coming at it from. And I wish I could be like them and just get away from all you guys, honestly. And Please hate me. Please stay away from me. No, because like I've met people on the street, like homeless people, and they don't bathe, and they're you won't even want to get near them because they smell so bad. And you know what? I kind of understand them. It's just like just stay away from me because everybody's out here trying to take something from you.
Understood.
Yeah, I'm glad you understand that part.
We will jump into a bonus of exploring Sadhguru's controversies
Yeah,
and talk.
I love bonuses.
Yes, we'll talk about his recent situation in a yoga center in India, where they sent police officers to examine his ashram. Some man claimed that his daughter was being taken advantage of there, and she was kind of being held hostage. They brainwashed her, and they're just living peaceful lives as monks. So that many resources were delved or funneled into the Isha Yoga Center for something so silly and so absurd. Well, in my view, at least. Do you have any
Yeah,
words to share on that? Have you seen that story?
yeah. Is that with the two short-haired women?
Yes, the brahmacharis.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, I don't think that they are being um, held there as prisoners. I don't think that. Like I said, once you get to this level of knowledge, all those people who work for those agencies, um, they're just not very good people. So, they all, the media, the government, the police, all these people, just not good. Not good people at all. Like I'm the type of person I will not dial 911. See, you and I we're pretty different. I will never dial 911. That's our emergency line here in America. What's yours in Canada?
Same thing, 911.
Yeah, because like in Europe, I think it's like 999 or something like that. Anyway, yeah, I've reached a point in life because I'll tell you a quick story. I did dial 911 before when I was running a jewelry store. A guy came in twice and he was like on pills or something. He went back out inside of his car, fell asleep in his car with the car running. And I went out there like a half hour later to do something else. Saw him there. I'm like, okay, maybe he's dead. I don't know. And so I called the police, and then the police wanted me. I guess the guy got a DUI driving under the influence or something, and then they wanted me to come in and be a witness. And like the first time they called me, I lied. I'm like, I'm not in town. I don't, I didn't want anything to do with it. And then they called me again, and they're like, if you don't come in here and be a witness to this, then you're gonna have some kind of charge. I'm like, wow. So that's the type of people you're dealing with, you guys. Again, high level knowledge. A lot of people aren't going to like this. Everyone's going to hate me. Good. Please go watch Greek Speak. Let him tell you.
Fair enough. And yeah, well, with that being said, I just want to finalize and end it here that if you're anywhere outside of the United States, probably it's a good idea for you to dial the police. Maybe in Canada, it's pushing it, but in the United
Yes,
States, the police are
normies, normal people, dial 911. Do that all day long.
okay. Well, that's it, my friends. That's the end of this podcast, exploring some controversies. See you in the next show.